The U.S. Federal Reserve's 75 basis point increase in the Fed funds rate this past week sent shockwaves to the financial markets and will impact the real estate market as well. The Fed made it abundantly clear that it has every intention of tackling the fastest inflation in 40 years down to 2%, and it's going to use every single tool it has to get the job done. From the Fed, the committee seeks to achieve maximum employment and inflation at the rate of 2% over the longer run. Actually, the Fed anticipates the unemployment rate to rise, meaning that some folks are going to lose their jobs. In support of these goals, the committee decided to raise the target rate for the Fed funds rate to 3 to 3.75% and anticipates that ongoing increases in the target range would be appropriate. In addition, the committee will continue reducing its holdings of Treasury securities and agency debt and agency mortgage-backed securities, as described in the plans for reducing the size of the Federal Reserve's balance sheet that were issued in May. Notice the Fed's multi-pronged approach. Number one, they're going to continue to increase the U.S. Fed funds rate, and number two, they will continue quantitative tightening by trimming the Fed's balance sheet. Fed Chairman Jerome Powell summed it up in his Jackson Hole speech prior to this release that the Fed wasn't going to back down from fighting inflation, quote, until the job is done. It's going to cause pain, he said. While very much anticipated, the 75 basis point Fed funds rate hike sent the Dow tumbling into bear territory last week. At a time when 30-year mortgage rates keep rising, 62% of workers are cutting back on their savings, credit card delinquencies are going up, consumer sentiment remains low when compared to last year, 1 in 4 Netflix subscribers are planning to leave the service this year, and now folks are really beginning to believe that we're entering a recession. But the good news is that home prices, according to Ian Shepherdson, the chief economist at Pantheon Macroeconomics, are expected to fall 20%. What? What is a home seller to do? Hi, I'm Robert C. Baker, and on this channel we talk about all things real estate, and in this episode I'm going to share with you 5 tips to help you sell your home during a recession. To make the YouTube algorithm happy, go ahead and hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment down below. And if you're thinking about buying, selling, or investing in real estate in the greater Chattanooga, Tennessee area, just give me a call or text. And to show my thanks, and as I promised, a viewer just like you, my favorite Chihuahua will make an appearance in just a few moments, so be sure to stay tuned. So, you're a savvy person, and you've been thinking about selling your home, but you're watching YouTube or reading articles online, and you're concerned that a looming recession may upset your plans. Well, I've got good news for you, it doesn't have to. In fact, as you know from watching this channel, folks buy, sell, and invest in real estate during all economic cycles, and this economic cycle will be no different. It just takes a little more thought and preparation to sell a home during a recession so that you can get what you need and move on to the next great chapter in your life. So here goes. The first thing you need to do is move quickly. While markets are changing rapidly, and while data from the National Association of Realtors is suggesting that, nationally, we've moved into a more balanced market, some markets like the greater Chattanooga, Tennessee area are still sellers markets. That means that sellers still have the upper hand even as multiple offers have been diminished and even as sellers are now reducing their prices and making seller concessions. So depending on your market, you'll need to act quickly so as to make as much money as you can while the cards still are in your favor. Now, I'm not suggesting that you act rashly without thinking. Rather, I'm suggesting that you be aware of what kind of real estate market that you're in, whether a seller's market or a neutral market, and if you have to move or need to move, go ahead and start the process. If you don't know what kind of real estate market you're in, contact your real estate agent, and if you don't know one in your area, contact me and I'll be happy to make a referral. The second thing you need to do is make a home selling budget. I know, I completely understand there are multiple emotions that you'll be going through as you begin decluttering, going through family mementos, discarding some things and donating others, and so on. For most folks, leaving a home, especially if you've lived there 5, 10, or 20 years, is like losing a friend. And it's easy to get caught up in the emotional element, so take your time, have a cry or laugh, and then take some photos of your home, throw yourself a going away party with your family, neighbors, and friends, and when you're ready, get down to the business side of selling your home. Fortunately, if you're like many Americans, you've seen a dramatic increase in the value of your home over the past 2.5 years. Due to extremely low interest rates, buyer demand has pushed real estate values to all-time highs. But that's beginning to change as we see the probability of home values declining, especially in overvalued areas, and especially as many folks are beginning to believe that we may be entering into a recession. You need to know that during economic downturns, homes tend to sell at lower prices. When it comes to the listing price, you need to be realistic. Here, a seasoned real estate agent can help you review comps and to establish a price that's going to be attractive to buyers. Now, you may be in a situation where you don't want to move or don't need to move, and that's okay. Here I'm talking about folks that are going to move due to a job transfer, the need to upsize or downsize a house, a death in the family, a divorce, loss of employment, and so on. In addition to price, you need to consider all the costs associated with selling your home. Among these costs are agent commissions, closing costs, potential seller concessions, and the remaining balance on your mortgage loan if you have one. You'll also need to include costs to get your home ready to go on the market and repairs you need to make before listing your home or after the home is under contract and inspected by the buyer's home inspector. I know it's a lot to think about, but if you'll take a few days to get those numbers together, you will feel much better and will be much less likely to make an expensive mistake. Let me say it again, you will feel better once you know the numbers and have a budget in place. Working within your budget, the third thing you may want to consider is a home inspection and a pest report before you list. Depending on the inspector, a home inspection may run you somewhere between $400 to $700, and some inspectors will charge additional fees for larger homes. But a home inspection report will be worth it because in the report, you're going to find out if there are any issues that you need to concern yourself with before your home goes on the market. You may find out that you need to install or replace outlets in the kitchen and baths, that a broken window needs your attention, or that your gutters need to be attached to the fascia. If you've kept your home in good repair, most likely the inspection report will reveal minor issues, some of which you could tackle yourself before the home goes on the market. But having a home inspection prior to listing may give you peace of mind before you put the home in the market, so that you're not caught off guard by expensive repair requests outside of your budget or nerve-wracking downward price negotiations initiated by the buyer. And having your home inspected for pests prior to listing can be a good thing as well. Here in the state of Tennessee, we tend to see a higher incidence of termites, and I can count on two hands how many times I've experienced or heard about sellers being shocked to find out that their homes have termites when the buyer's pest inspection report comes in. Better go ahead and tackle that issue so that you have less to worry about when it comes to the buyer's inspection. Besides, I can't tell you how grossed out I get when I see dead bugs or live bugs like cockroaches in people's homes. I know that we have them, but I don't want to see them, and buyers don't want to see them as well when they're visiting your home. The fourth thing you need to do is get your home ready for the market. Fortunately, there are a lot of inexpensive things that you can do to make your home more attractive. Now, the purpose of making modest improvements to your home is to get folks into the door so that they make an offer on your home that you can accept. Keep in mind that most people today shop for homes online by looking at websites like Realtor.com, Zillow.com, or my website, RobertCBaker.com. That means that they're looking at pictures of your lawn, your driveway, shrubbery, your front door, your entryway, your kitchens and baths, your bedrooms and closets, your carpeting and tile, your paint colors, and your garage. They look at everything, and they make a decision whether or not to see your home in person based on the pictures and video they see online. So wipe down the front door and replace the icky door handles, wash the windows inside and out, clean the kitchen and bathroom cabinets, including the doors, handles, and even inside the drawers. You can vacuum those out and wipe them with a cleaning solution and a cloth. Have the carpets professionally cleaned, and if you have a strong pet odor in the home, have that treated as well. If your budget allows, you may want to make some additional upgrades like new carpeting or painting the entire interior of the home. That will make the home look and smell even better. But don't go crazy making expensive cosmetic improvements. And if your budget doesn't allow those things, which could run in the thousands of dollars, having everything cleaned and smelling nice will go a long way. Budget-conscious folks like myself can also remove photos and pictures from the walls, patch the holes, and use touch-up paint. And renting a carpet cleaning device at any big box hardware store is also a good idea. Now, if you're aware of more serious issues such as electrical, plumbing, HVAC, roof, foundation, or other serious matters of concern, you need to address those before you put your home in the market. They certainly will be addressed after your buyer has a home inspection. Again, your budget comes into play, but just know that if you're aware of non-cosmetic concerns with your property, your state may require you to disclose those issues to potential buyers. Consult with your real estate agent who can tell you more in detail what you need to do and disclose based on the laws of the state where you live. The fifth thing to do is recognize the kind of market that you're in. Now, Now, if we're going into a recession or already are in one, the real estate market is going to be quite different than it's been the past 2.5 years, and that's going to catch a lot of home sellers and even some real estate agents by surprise. Although the pace of new listings as of the date of this video has slowed down, typically during a recession we see an increase in inventory, so buyers have more to choose from. This means more competition for you as a home seller. And depending on the severity of a recession, we could see even more inventory coming onto the market, as folks are faced with tough choices due to unemployment or perhaps difficulty in making their mortgage payments, leading to foreclosure. And with an increase in inventory, you as a home seller can expect buyers and their agents being more competitive when it comes to offers. That's why it's vital that you're aware and adhere to your home selling budget. You're going to know in advance what your final number is and whether or not any offer is going to work for you. Also be aware that offers coming in are going to have more contingencies, like a sale of home contingency, an inspection contingency, a financing contingency, an appraisal contingency, and so on. In the previous exuberant market that we've just experienced, many times those contingencies were not part of the buyer's offer because buyers were so afraid of missing out. But during the current economic cycle, contingencies are back, and so too are buyers asking sellers for assistance on closing costs, so make sure that you've prepared for that and have budgeted for those things as well. Now, of course, there are many more tips that I could share with you, but Pedro is just itching to make his video appearance. And he thinks that you should watch this video next. Isn't that right? Good boy.